You know that feeling, right? It's your turn to speak English. Your heart starts beating fast, your hands get a little sweaty, and a fight starts in your head. It's this quick, silent fight of translating from your first language, checking your grammar, and searching for the perfect word. And the whole time, the person you're talking to is just waiting. The moment feels long and strange, and then it's gone. You either stay quiet or say something so simple it feels like it's not what you really wanted to say. This cycle of thinking too much and waiting is the biggest thing stopping you from speaking smoothly. It isn't how many words you know, and it's not how much grammar you know. It's the fear of not being perfect, that keeps you stuck. That fight inside your head, that fear of making a mistake, is something almost every English learner feels. You might understand a lot when you're listening or reading, but the moment it's your turn to speak, your brain just freezes. It feels like a bad cycle. You're nervous about speaking, so you wait, and waiting just makes you more nervous. But what if I told you the answer isn't to study more grammar charts or learn longer lists of words? What if the answer is just to break the habit of thinking and start the habit of talking? Hi, English learners. Welcome to English Story Class. I'm David, your host for today, and in this video, I will break down that fear step by step. This isn't just an idea. We're going to give you clear changes in how you think and real speaking exercises you can start using right after this video. I am going to retrain your brain to care more about connecting with people than being correct. By the end, you'll have a clear plan to get out of your own head and finally start speaking the confident, smooth English that you know you can. Section 1. The Why. Understanding the fear. Before we can fix a problem, we have to know what causes it. So, why do so many of us get stuck in our heads? It usually comes from a deep fear of making mistakes, of people not understanding you or just sounding silly. This worry makes us try too hard to get everything right. Perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, the most difficult word. This focus on being perfect destroys the natural flow of a conversation. Think about how you speak in your first language. Do you plan every sentence? Do you check your grammar before you speak? Of course not. You just talk. Your thoughts become words almost right away. That's because your goal is to communicate, not to give a perfect language show. A big reason for this is the habit of translating in your head. It's like trying to run a race with your feet tied together. You're making your brain do two big jobs at the same time. First, forming the thought in your language, and second, finding the perfect English translation. It's very tiring, and most importantly, it's slow. Always checking yourself creates a big pause. It stops you from joining fast group talks and makes one-on-one conversations feel stiff and not natural. Worst of all, it makes you believe that your English isn't good enough because you can't keep up. This just makes the fear bigger, and the cycle starts again. The real cost of this fear is the chances you lose, the friends you don't make, the jobs you don't get, the stories you don't share. But here's the good news. This is something you learned to do, and anything learned can be unlearned. It starts with a big change in how you think. Section 2, Mindset Hack Number 1. Accept you're not perfect and change your goal. The first and most important new way of thinking is to completely change your goal when you speak. Your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is to communicate.
Think about that for a second. The whole point of language is to connect with another person, to share an idea, a feeling, or a story. It's not to pass some make-believe grammar test. You have to give yourself permission to not be perfect. Mistakes are not failures. They show that you're trying. Every single mistake you make helps you move forward and learn. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. We mix up our grammar. We get words wrong. We say and we forget words. Real talking isn't clean. The pressure you put on yourself for perfect English is a rule you don't even use for native speakers. So, how do you start accepting that you're not perfect? Start by being happy that you tried, not just when you do it perfectly. Did you try to explain a difficult idea, even if you messed up a few words? That's a win. Did you ask a question in a shop, even if your pronunciation wasn't perfect? That's a win. Just trying to connect is the victory. Changing your focus from being perfect to communicating has a strong effect on your brain. When you try to be perfect, your brain is looking carefully for mistakes. This is your fight or flight feeling, which is terrible for natural things like talking. When you focus on connecting, you use the friendly parts of your brain. This makes you more relaxed, more in the moment, and a much better speaker. The fear gets smaller with every word you speak, not every word you speak perfectly. Section 3. Speaking Challenge Number 1. The 30-second stream of consciousness. Okay, time to try this. This is not a test. There are no grades. The only rule is you cannot stop talking. This exercise is called the 30-second stream of consciousness, and it's made to break the habit of pausing too much. Here's how you do it. I'm going to give you a simple topic. You're going to talk about it out loud for 30 seconds straight. You can be anywhere, at home, in your car, wherever. The key is to keep talking. If you get stuck, you don't get to be quiet. Instead, you say what's on your mind, like, I'm trying to think of the next thing, or I can't find the word, but it's like this. Or you can just describe something you see in front of you. The goal is to fill 30 seconds with sound and keep the flow going. This trains your brain to move past that bad feeling of not knowing what to say next. Ready? Your first topic is the shoes you are wearing right now. If you have no shoes on, talk about the last pair of shoes you wore. Ready? Go. How did that feel? A little strange? Hard? Did you have that feeling that you wanted to just stop and think? That's totally normal. Did you stumble over your words? Good. That means you did it right. The point isn't to give a beautiful, perfect speech. The point is to show yourself that you can talk for 30 seconds straight. You can create language as you go. You can be okay not knowing the perfect word. Try to do this challenge once a day. Here are a few more ideas to get you started. Describe the room you're in right now. Talk about your favorite food and what makes it so good. Explain your daily plan. Talk about a place you dream of visiting. Every time you do this, you make the habit of pausing weaker and the habit of speaking freely stronger. You're building a new habit where speaking is your normal reaction, not staying quiet. Section 4. Mindset hack number 2. The power of positive self-talk. That little voice inside your head, the one that comments on your English, is very powerful. For a lot of learners, that inner voice is not very nice. It says things like, "My English is bad," "I'll never sound like a native speaker," or "Everyone is judging my accent." If you keep telling yourself you can't do it, your brain will start to believe you, and you'll hold yourself back. We have to fight this by saying positive things to ourselves. It might sound a little silly, but this is a real way to change negative thoughts. So instead of thinking, "I'm going to make a mistake," you choose to replace that thought with, "It's okay to make mistakes. That's how I learn." Instead of, "My accent is bad," try saying, "My accent is part of who I am, and my goal is for people to understand me, not to have a different accent." Here are a few powerful positive statements you can try. I can do this. I have a sound and understanding mind. I am a confident English speaker. My English is getting better every day. I am a good communicator, and I can express myself. I am getting better at English every day. My English is improving with every practice. I speak English with confidence. English feels easier for me now. I enjoy learning and speaking English. Write these down. Say them out loud before you go into a place where you'll have to speak English. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about changing your focus. It's about choosing to be your own supporter, not your own judge. You're telling your brain to look for proof that you are doing well, not proof that you are failing. When you believe you can do it, you become stronger. A mistake is not a big problem anymore. It's just a small bump in the road. This positive way of thinking is the base that real speaking confidence is built on. Section 5. Speaking challenge number 2. The shadowing technique. Our next exercise is one of the best ways to improve how smooth you sound, your rhythm, and your confidence, without the stress of making your own sentences. It's called shadowing. Shadowing is simple. You listen to a native English speaker and repeat what they say as they say it, just a second behind them. You become their shadow. You're not just copying their words, you're copying their pronunciation, their intonation, the rise and fall of their voice, and their rhythm. The goal here isn't even to understand every single word. It's to get your mouth to copy the sounds and flow of natural speech. This exercise is amazing because it completely skips the thinking part of your brain. You're not translating or building sentences, you're just making the sounds. It gets your mouth, tongue, and voice used to the action of speaking English smoothly. It becomes automatic for your mouth. Here's how to do it. Find a short audio or video. A 1 or 2 minute clip is perfect. It could be from a podcast, a news report, a talk, or even a movie. Just make sure the speaker is clear and talks at a normal speed. Listen once. Just listen to understand the topic and the speaker's rhythm. Shadow the speaker. Play the clip again and start repeating everything they say right as you hear it. Don't stop. If you miss a word, just jump back in when you can. Try to copy everything, the emotion, the pauses, the way they say some words stronger. Repeat. Do this a few times with the same clip. You'll see it gets easier each time, and your speech will feel much smoother. You don't need a teacher for this. You can do it anywhere with headphones. Just 5 minutes of shadowing a day can make a big difference in how natural you sound and, more importantly, how natural it feels to speak English. It makes listening and speaking feel more connected, and that makes speaking feel less scary.
You know that feeling, right? It's your turn to speak English. Your heart starts beating fast, your hands get a little sweaty, and a fight starts in your head. It's this quick, silent fight of translating from your first language, checking your grammar, and searching for the perfect word. And the whole time, the person you're talking to is just waiting. The moment feels long and strange, and then it's gone. You either stay quiet or say something so simple it feels like it's not what you really wanted to say. This cycle of thinking too much and waiting is the biggest thing stopping you from speaking smoothly. It isn't how many words you know, and it's not how much grammar you know. It's the fear of not being perfect, that keeps you stuck. That fight inside your head, that fear of making a mistake, is something almost every English learner feels. You might understand a lot when you're listening or reading, but the moment it's your turn to speak, your brain just freezes. It feels like a bad cycle. You're nervous about speaking, so you wait, and waiting just makes you more nervous. But what if I told you the answer isn't to study more grammar charts or learn longer lists of words? What if the answer is just to break the habit of thinking and start the habit of talking? Hi, English learners. Welcome to English Story Class. I'm David, your host for today, and in this video, I will break down that fear step by step. This isn't just an idea. We're going to give you clear changes in how you think and real speaking exercises you can start using right after this video. I am going to retrain your brain to care more about connecting with people than being correct. By the end, you'll have a clear plan to get out of your own head and finally start speaking the confident, smooth English that you know you can. If any of this sounds true for you, if you're already feeling a small change in how you think, then help more people see this video. Take a second to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our future videos. And now, I have a question for you. I want you to be brave and leave a comment below. What is one bad thought about your English that you will try to change after watching this? Let me know. By sharing it, you're taking the first real step toward changing it. Let's build a friendly community right here in the comments. Section 7. Mindset hack number 4. Focus on chunking, not words. One of the biggest reasons we wait to speak is that we often try to make sentences one slow word at a time. We think of a subject, then a verb, then an object, and try to use the right grammar rules. This is very slow and difficult. Native speakers don't think in single words. We think in chunks, groups of words that often go together. For example, a learner might try to build a sentence like this: I would like to make a reservation. A native speaker just thinks of the whole thing as one piece. I'd like to make a reservation. Other common chunks are things like, by the way. On the other hand, to be honest with you, if you know what I mean, could you tell me? When you start to listen for and learn these chunks, your speaking will become so much more smooth and natural. You don't have to build the sentence from scratch every single time. You have these ready-to-use pieces.
This makes it easier for your brain to speak and frees up your mind to focus on what you actually want to say, not the rules of how to say it. So, how do you learn chunks? Listen and read carefully. Notice which words always seem to be together. Keep a notebook just for these phrases. Don't just write down single words. Write down the whole chunk and practice saying it until it feels natural. This one simple habit will change your speaking from slow and awkward to smooth and confident.
Section 8. Speaking Challenge Number 3. Mini Speeches on Familiar Topics. This next challenge uses everything we have learned. It's time to go from a 30-second talk to a more organized 1 to 2 minute mini speech. The secret here is to pick topics you really care about and know a lot about. It's always easier to talk about something you love because you already know the words and have the ideas. Here's the challenge. Pick a topic you really care about. It could be your hobby, your job, your favorite movie, your family, anything that is important to you. Take 1 minute to write down a few short notes. Don't write full sentences, just 3 to 4 key words or ideas to give you a simple plan. This isn't about memorizing a script, it's just about having a little structure. Speak for 1 to 2 minutes on your topic. Record yourself if you can. Try to talk naturally, like you're just explaining it to a friend. Use some of the chunks you've been learning. Listen back. What did you do well? Were you able to share your ideas? Don't look for mistakes. Focus on how you were able to communicate your ideas. This exercise is so powerful because it's like a practice for a real conversation where you're sharing your own thoughts and what you know. It builds confidence in your ability to speak for a longer time and organize your thoughts in English. If you do this regularly, you'll feel much more comfortable speaking in group chats or work meetings because you'll have shown yourself that you have interesting things to say and you know how to say them. Section 9. Mindset Hack Number 5. Think directly in English. This one is the final goal, the biggest challenge in stopping hesitation, to stop translating in your head and start thinking directly in English. It might sound scary, but it's a skill you can build like any other, and it starts with small, easy steps. The habit of thinking in English is built in the quiet moments of your day. It's about changing the language you use for your thoughts. Here's how you can start. Step 1. Naming things. As you go about your day, in your head, just name the things you see around you in English. Don't think of the word in your native language first. Just look at your desk and think laptop, coffee cup, pen, notebook. This creates a direct link between the object and the English word, and it skips the translation step. Step 2. Simple sentences. Start making simple sentences in your head about what you're doing. I'm walking to the kitchen. I am thirsty. I'm going to get some water. These are the basic thoughts you have all day. Just switch the language they happen in. Step 3. Talking to yourself in your head. Start having small, simple chats with yourself in your head, all in English. You can describe your day to yourself. Okay, after I finish this, I need to go to the store. What do I need to buy? I need milk, bread, and eggs. You can even plan things for the future completely in English. Step 4. Change your surroundings.
Change the language on your phone, your social media, and your computer to English. This puts the language all around you and forces you to use English as a useful tool for your day, not just as a school subject. Starting to think in English, even with just single words, is like planting a seed. It feels strange and difficult at first, but if you keep practicing, that seed will grow. Your thoughts will slowly become more and more in English, and as a result, the words will come out more easily when it's time to speak. We've talked about a lot today, from understanding the cause of our fear to building a new way of thinking and practicing with real challenges. The journey from someone who waits to speak to a confident speaker isn't about a magic trick. It's about small actions you do again and again that completely change how you feel about English. Let's remember the main message. Stop trying to be perfect. Your goal is to communicate. Accept your mistakes. They're just proof that you're learning. Be your own biggest supporter with positive self-talk, not your own worst critic. Start small and build your confidence step by step. And most importantly, practice the action of speaking every single day, even for just a few minutes. Use the stream of consciousness challenge, the shadowing technique, and the mini speeches. These are the tools that will retrain your brain to speak smoothly. The fear you feel is real, but it's not something you're stuck with forever. It is a wall that you have the power to break down. Every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent, you're breaking down that wall. Every time you focus on connecting with the person in front of you instead of the critic inside your head, you take back control. Your voice, your ideas, your personality, they all deserve to be heard. Don't let the fear of a few mistakes keep you from sharing who you are with the world. Stop thinking, start talking. Your journey to fluent, confident English begins with the very next word you decide to speak. You've got this. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next video. Keep speaking English.